Good morning or afternoon, YouTube. It's afternoon now.
Yeah.
This is Russ, Charlotte,
me, Rosa.
Rosa. So today I've got the helpers with me. Hopefully today we're going to get
Loads done.
get loads done. Yeah, get the solar panel done. Hopefully. I've just been mocking it up, and I've just discovered first hurdle is the bolts that were supplied for the wood I've used for the base isn't long enough, so we're going to have to nip out and get some more bolts. But it shouldn't be too much issue. We're going to have some lunch. These girls have been weeding all morning. They've been doing great. So we're going to have some lunch, and we're going to fly down B&Q, get some bolts.
And then come back.
Well, yeah, of course we're going to come back. And then we'll go from there. Hopefully we'll get the solar panels up. I've got the batteries, I've got the charge controller in place. I should have enough wire. So hopefully before tea time this evening I'll have the solar panels up and installed while these girls are being helpful and doing the weeding. And then it's back again tomorrow. You won't see it like this because it'll be a separate video, but it's back again tomorrow to make a start on the fencing. So there's going to be a bit of time lapsing. I'm going to do an overview, and then hopefully, if my editing's up to it, I'm going to stick in sort of the close-up bits that I'm going to do with the camcorder. Yes, so I'll see you in a bit. Yeah, every time I get this camera out, yeah, I just ran to get the camera, thinking, wind has stopped. I'll fly and get the camera so I can show you what I've done so far. I'm gonna have to persevere. Sorry about the wind noise. And the kids also want to show you what they're up to. Sorry. I'm not going to show you the back of this board where I'm mounting the panels, because I've done a little bit of security jiggery pokery, and forgive me, but I trust no one. So you know, I'm not showing the back because it's I've done some special sort of security wizardry. So yeah, I'm going to take you down and show you what the kids are doing. I'm just going to run you through the unboxing of one of the solar panels. Now in these boxes normally would be a solar power controller that's already on the wall. There's a few cables. I'll run you through that stuff back in the shed while I'm doing the wiring. But I just want to show you sort of what's in the box. So we'll go through that in a minute. The girls are doing a great job. Hopefully they're not digging up any new strawberry plants.
No.
Good. Right, so I'll just turn you around and Charlotte can tell you what she's been doing.
Alright, so I've just been doing some weeding with Rosa, and now I'm making sure that the wet soil is on top so that the strawberries can absorb the water better.
Okay, and you're going to give them a watering afterwards as well?
Yes.
You're going to give them a sprinkle with some water?
Yes.
Right, okay. What else have you been doing? You've done the brassicas as well, haven't you?
Yes.
So do you want me to show people that, or do you want me to show them a close-up of the strawberries?
Close up about the strawberries, Rosa's trying her best of doing it.
And then what we're going to do once they've all been weeded is we're going to dig them all out, aren't we? And we're going to sort all the strawberry plants out. So we're going to have the old ones running in a line down the middle and the young ones on the sides. Yeah? Which we couldn't do when the bed was full of weeds.
Nah.
So, yeah. Then what? Any ideas what you're doing after this?
I'm gonna go get the chicken eggs.
Okay. So we'll record that once I've done the solar panels, yeah?
Right.
Alright. So there you go. She's been weeding. Like I said, sorry for the wind. It's just one of those days. Every time I get the camera out, the wind comes up. And sod's law also, it appears to be like the M62 at the road at the back here. So there's very little I can do about that. So I've got to do this one-handed as best I can to sort of show you what's going on. Now these boxes have been opened before. There is some bits and pieces that I've got in a box over there. So there'll be a bit of to-ing and fro-ing. But sort of to show you how they come and what and what you do. So let me just crack this open. Right, yeah, there's nothing in this box. Okay, you hear me 1 second? I'll edit all this out, but it's pointless me turning the camera off. No, I am going to turn the camera off because I need to go find some bits and pieces. Right, so anyway, back again. Probably should have opened this envelope first. So I'll point the camera down so you're not going to look at my ugly mug, and I'll show you sort of the kit I got anyway. You're not necessarily going to get the same, but it's the kit I got. So yeah. So as you can see, this white is the back of the solar panel, and then with these you get 4 of these little brackets. They don't seem to matter which way round they go really, but I've mounted mine that way because it's easy, and I've put all my security on there and some on these. It's a little bag of, these are M6 thread 20mm nuts. I've had to get some other ones for my security purposes, and then this is going to be more in the wiring side of things, but these are your MC4, I think they're called MC4 connectors. Positive, negative. Like I say, we'll talk about that more during the wiring. But yeah, that's pretty much all it is. And like I say, obviously normally there's the solar power controller as well, and some wires, but they're in another box somewhere else. So I'll leave it there. Just another real quick one here. I just realised this is actually quite important, so it's worth showing. You'll see on the time lapse I screwed up. I had to take it back apart again, because I realised that I'd left these wires tie wrapped to the back. But I'm wiring these up in what's called serial instead of parallel. I might change it to parallel at a later date, but I don't have the adapter blocks that you need to be able to do that. So I'm having to do it in serial. So what I've got here is the positive, is the negative from this top panel plugged into the positive from this bottom panel here, and then I'll use this positive and negative to then run to my batteries, well, to my solar charger, then to my batteries. I was tempted to wire, because I've got 2 solar chargers, I was tempted to wire one directly into a solar charger, but I don't think I'm going to do that. We'll see how this works out first and what sort of power this delivers. Like I said, these cable points I'm going to make quite accessible, so that's not so much of an issue. The issue I've got next is getting this big mamma jamma. I mean, I'm 6'2", it's as big as me. It's 22mm ply, and apologies for the changing perspective, but it's quite large, and now quite heavy. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to lift it up onto there. We'll see. You know, I'd rather wait a day or two till I can get an extra pair of hands, and you know, lift it without risking dropping these, because obviously, you know, whilst they're not delicate, these are not cheap, so you know, we'll see. Right folks, I didn't get the eternal struggle of getting it on the roof on camera, but it's on the roof, And the cables are in. So I'm going to try my best to show everything that I can. I don't know how well I'm going to succeed, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try and set the camera up somewhere where you can see everything. I have still got the time lapse going. I don't know how long that's going to last, but I'm going to try and set you up somewhere where you can see everything. And yeah, I'll try and describe things as I'm going. This could turn into a really long video, so it might be a two-parter. So yes, let me try and find a camera place and I'll be right back. Okay guys, another quick one. I've pulled the wires through. I'm ready to start stripping wires and adding terminals and bits and bobs. Just wanted to quickly sort of run you down what came with my package. It was two solar power panels. Well, one solar panel plus one solar charge controller, plus in the package comes quite a lengthy amount of your cables. You get one or two of them. And with your solar charge controller comes two DC plugs, which you can use to wire onto lights and things. They would go in here. And then a quick rundown of the tools you're going to need. Now obviously, you know, drills, spanners, things like that aside, you know, the things that I've used on the roof. So the only tools I'm hoping I'm going to need, I have got some others. I have got soldering irons and pliers and blah blah blah, but I've got some wire strippers and some crimpers for the terminals, some terminal crimpers. So yeah, I'm going to set the camera up. I'm going to try and get this wired up. I am running out of time, so it might run over to tomorrow. I might then make it a two-parter, so we'll see. I'm going to see if at least get the solar panel charger controller wired up. So hopefully you guys can see enough there. This is actually the first time I've used these wire strippers, and I've just realised I've not got one of the tools that I didn't mention that I need to go and get. Is I need some wire cutters, it would seem. I'm sure this thing can actually cut wire, but this is quite a heavy gauge, so I mean, we'll give it a go. Let's see, where am I coming down? I don't want it too tight. And back up, so if I give myself a considerable amount to make mistakes with, because I probably will. Oh, that cut quite nicely actually. And cut this one to about the same length. I can always reconnect more if I need to, and I have, as you've seen, got spare wires. So, you know, I'm trying to do this in camera view. And give myself a bit more to crank the terminal onto, about that much. So I've taken off probably about 10 mil. Actually, I'm going to take off another couple of mil. Yeah, there we go. So probably taken off about 10 mil. There is a way I can check it, what I've actually taken off on my wire strippers, but that's just effort. So I've done that. Unfortunately, I'm not posh enough to have red and black terminals. That'd be lovely, but I'm not that posh. I'm going to use ring terminals. See what we've got here. I think these are about the right size. Oh, Phillips head screwdriver. Be right back. Apologies. I'll you guys won't see that because I'll edit it out, but I'm not actually going to go with the hoop connectors. I'm going to go with the U connectors. I think they'll give me a better connection. And it's going to be easier for them inning and outing. So yeah, I'm going to go with the U connectors. Now, I'm no electrician, so I'm just doing what I assume is right. Probably isn't, but hey ho. So this, you see on your crimpers, you've got 3 collar connections, and just put it in the right one and squish it as hard as you can. And with those crimpers, at least, they release once you've got it nice and tight. I am sort of rushing this a little bit, as you've seen sort of earlier in the videos. I've got the kids, they're starting to get a little bit on the bored side, so I'm just trying to get stuff done as quick as I possibly can. Now, I do have blue connectors and red connectors in these. That would be nice. I do like to have different colours for live and earth, even though, well, positive and negative, even though the wire itself is a different colour. Yeah, they fit. So I'll go with blue on the negative. So hopefully I'm in shot. It's not the easiest of camera angles. These connectors, they just, if you've twisted your wire, you just twist them on with the way you've twisted the wire. And then I'm gonna squish it. I'm sure there probably is a specific way to do that as well, but like I say, I'm no electrician. I will, once I start putting load on this, I am going to install a fuse box and things like that. That is something that is more my area of expertise, because it just works on car fuses. I'll tighten these down. I've got 2 batteries. I'm not going to go into it on the batteries too much. Oh, that's a point. Battery terminals. But what I can at least do is run the wire, or the wires, for the terminals. So once again, same as before, this is actually going to be easier for me to show because it's not sort of up in the air. Take the wire off. So into my fancy wire strippers. Take the ends off. Twist them up. Doesn't matter which way you twist. Just makes it a bit easier to get one of these connectors on if it's twisted up, because then you can twist the connector on and the wire sits inside nicer. And then we crimp it on. Your crimps are supposed to be nice and tight. I'm not sure if they're supposed to be as tight as I am doing them, but your crimps are supposed to be nice and tight. So don't be too scared of that. Because obviously you don't want these wires coming loose. Sort of this crimping and things like that. I'm kind of used to it. I'm not an auto electrician by any stretch of the imagination, but I have done a little bit in the past. My fuse box, I shan't be running from the solar charge controller. When I do put one in, my fuse box is going to be, I'll probably situate it here. I'm only going to get a little one, but it'll come off the batteries back up here onto here. Then I'll have some fuses because I'm going to have things like a radio, some lights, maybe even my overwintering growing lights. I might experiment with that down here. So that's nice and tight, yes it is. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see. Oh, I'm miffed I can't find those battery terminals. I know they should be here somewhere. Anyway, where's my other cable? There it is. So, once again, I'm going to use a blue terminal. I don't know if there's any difference in the colours other than I know that usually their sizes are different. But, seems to be going on right well. Sorry, I know I'm doing this off camera, but how many times do you want to see me crimp a wire? Of course, the one I don't show is the one that I bugger up, which is probably the one that you all want to see. Let's face it, YouTube was founded on videos of idiots doing things they shouldn't be doing. Facebook, did I say? I meant to say YouTube. Put that back down there. So once again, I'm kind of rushing things a little bit, so my cable management is non-existent.
That piece of cannon, I have a break.
Yep. Which makes it sound like I'm slave labour. I suppose I am. They're not getting paid. They get paid in food.
We're having a break.
They get paid in food and board. So, all those are connected. So you've got, all I'm doing is following the instructions on here. You've got positive and negative solar panel. It's all indicated, positive and negative battery, and then positive and negative light. I may run a light directly off here, I don't know. But I've no power yet, because this actually draws power from the batteries, not the solar panels. So that's the charge controller wired. The panels on the roof. I'm going to have 10 minutes looking for these battery terminals that I bought. I know they should be here somewhere. If I can't find them, I'm going to do a closing video. The girls want to do a little bit of a plot walk around, so we'll do that. I'll be their cameraman. And yes, so I'm going to have a look for these terminals, and if I've got them, I'll be back with you. Not here, it'll be down there because the batteries are going down there. If I can't find them, I'll be back either after I found them or I've bought some more. Bye bye for now. Okay, so here we go again. I've got no idea whether this camera angle is going to work out, but I found my little terminal connectors. Whoa, this is really weird. So obviously the battery is going to come through there, and then I'll attach the wires on through here. A little bit gutted there's no washers here, but I should still be able to work with that. That shouldn't be too much of a problem. So essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to clip these wires back a bit more, and then I'll just squish it in there. Now obviously I'm not going to show you connecting up to the battery because that's going to be damn near impossible for me to record, but I will do as much as I can. So I'll twist that round. So I don't know, I'll try if I can try and get a slight adjustment where you can see my gorgeous belly. I don't know how this camera angle is going to work out in editing. Now obviously, as I was just about to say, anybody who knows anything about working with batteries and electricity, You know, it's always your negative or your earth is first one off, last one on, and this will be no exception. I'm sorry. Let's see if I've coiled enough wire around that for this to grip efficiently. So of course, anywhere where you've got loose connections or bad connections is where you're going to end up with wasted electricity. So I'm a little bit gutted that I never spotted that these didn't have washers on them. It is something that I would have rather have had. So a bit more to play with. So if I can get a full wrap round this underneath this wing nut, it should be a fairly decent connection. At least until I can get a better terminal. I think what I might do actually at a later date is I'll get a better I'll try and get some better terminals. If I can't get any better terminals, what I'll probably do is solder them to give myself a nice solid connection. So this is really hard to do in the shed and be on camera, so it's not the neatest job, but it should give me enough of a connection. And it's nice and, no, it's not nice and strong. Right, take that wing nut right off. If I trim myself a little bit more wire, I could get all the way around, but I'll try it now. So I'm learning a new appreciation for all these YouTubers out there that do all the top-down electrics stuff. I love your work, and now I appreciate how difficult it is to get some of those camera angles. Or I'm starting to appreciate how difficult it is to get some of those lovely camera angles where you show us all the ins and outs. Okay, that's nice and strong. The same debacle with the red wire. I was going to trim them shorter, but I haven't now. So you see me do one. It's not the best connection in the world, so I would have liked to have had a washer on top of there, but I haven't. I might go see if I've got some, but I think what I'll do is I'll not put you through me fighting with another one at this amazingly good camera angle. And I'll be back. I think it's meant to actually have a terminal on it. I wonder if I've got a terminal that's big enough. Now, give me a sec, I'm not going to shut the camera off just yet because I've got a terminal that's big enough. Oops, I've scattered them all over the shop. Yeah, if I've got a terminal that's big enough, I'll use a terminal, but I haven't. I think it might be a trip to the hardware store tomorrow. Are these any wider? The blue ones kind of go on. I'm going to give that a try for the positive. Let's give it a go. What's the worst that can happen? Probably electrocution, but hey ho. In the immortal words of whoever it was that sung it, you only live once. We'll try it with a terminal, see if we get a decent connection when I wire it up. Because it is a bit tight. and the connector is bending slightly, so it's probably not very happy. My battery's running out. Yeah, that's not going to have any of it. See, what you'd ideally have, which I don't, no I don't, is you'd have some of these guys that would fit over there, but obviously this one won't. So I'm going to shut the camera off, I'm going to finish off this wiring, and then I'm probably going to go home because it's getting late and I'm running out of battery power on all my cameras. So until next time, I'll see you later. Dead quick before the battery dies. Turn this light off a second. There we go, you see it a bit better now. We're now off power. So I've got a battery voltage of 13. Obviously output circuit is reading nothing because there's nothing going out. And we're charging 0.9 amps. Which isn't much, but it's enough. I don't know what happens if I press this. Oh right, it just turns off the output circuit, but I'm not using it, so yeah. And currently in this shed it's 26 degrees. I can agree with that. I'm going to do a quick walk around with the kids. We've got 20 minutes left on this battery, and then I'm going to pack up and go home.
Welcome, and I'm going to do a little plot tour. Here we have the potatoes, got some Desiree, some Mars peas.
They're all pears.
There's only 2 pipers
Yes.
that we have. And here's the blueberry bush. Me must have been picking off some blueberries and eating them.
They've all gone.
I can see one right there. I will eat that.
Okay. Do you know what this one is?
This one is peach. And it's one of the 4 trees. And over there I think we have the pear.
Yeah.
Over there.
Cherry.
Over here.
Okay, battery's going really fast. Charlie, we've got 6 minutes. This is the pear.
There's a pear. Daddy ate one of those. And now they're all gone.
They were nice.
And here's the apple tree.
You've had your first apple off it today, haven't you?
Yep. Then we have strawberries.
French beans.
French beans. Got some Brussels sprouts, a couple cabbages. And we got petty pan squash.
And whose decision was it to grow patty pan squash?
I know my idea. Here we have a couple chickens. And here we just have an empty bed full of alpaca poo.
Yeah, and do you know what's going in that one?
No.
Elephant garlic.
And here we have the chicken coop. Hello.
Just do quickly in the polytunnel.
Yeah, we'll do a quick tour around the polytunnel. Here we have our sugar rush peach chili peppers. And then around here we got some tomatoes or some baby bell peppers.
Yeah. And that's a cucumber.
Wow.
Grapevine. It's getting really quite big again.
And here we have some lettuce. And some cabbage is growing right there.
No, that's a lettuce.
That's a really big lettuce.
It is.
And here we used to have cocomelons.
They got taken out by Daddy. There's a strawberry plant that I've put into intensive care because it wasn't doing very well.
Yeah.
And what's this plant?
I have no idea.
It's a melon plant. Look.
There's some melons growing right here.
Yeah, we got melons.
Busy.
And I think there's another one at the back there. So do you want to say ta-da's because the battery's about to die, sweetheart?
Right. Bye, that's the end of the plot tour.